Next up, I want to introduce our honoree for the Tree of Life Award, Mr. and Mrs. Daneshrad. I had the honor of texting back and forth and having a few phone calls with Mr. Daneshrad, and he's a very humbling man. I tried to get a bio out of him, and it was all strictly factual, about factual events that happened in his life, nothing about all the generous contributions, nothing about, you know, the type of value he holds in our community. I had a lot to do with some factual information, which I obviously will read here. Rabbi Chaksher will talk about his generosity shortly. Daneshrad was born in Tehran, Iran. His mother from Israel, his father from Iran. Shh, please guys, we're almost finished. We're at the tail end of this. He moved to the US in 1969, well before the revolution, and married in Los Angeles. He has been in real estate for almost all his life. Very amazing accolades. First starting out with sales, lease, and equipment financing for construction sites. Later leading to commercial real estate in the 1980s, and since then representing investors, acquisition, sales, development, and property management. He's the vice president of DAUM Commercial Real Estate, Grubb & Ellis in their investment portfolio. He has a Bachelor of Science degree and is highly involved in the community. Been married to, and in his words, a wonderful woman named Afsaneh. Afsaneh, also known as Devorah, is working as a vice president of CMS Bondage for the last few years. They have two daughters, Sharona and Elaine Chaya. In a strange circle of events, I actually talked to Sharona earlier this week, completely unrelated to this event. She's an attorney in real estate. Elaine Chaya is a fashion blogger. And we are so honored and happy to have Mr. and Mrs. Daneshrad as the honoree of the Tree of Life Award. I'll have Rabbi Chaksher say a few words as well. Thank you.
The first time I got to know the name of Daneshrad was when Quran Khan told me that we spent a meal with my sister-in-law, and her name is Afsaneh, and her husband Dan Daneshrad, and she wants to send a donation to your organization. They like what you do with the teens. I like when people send us donations. That's a great thing to do. But I like it better when the donations grow very, very much and very fast. When they see what we do and they care about what we do. But over a year ago, when they came to our shul, because we had some memorial for their mother, and the first thing they heard was our synagogue does not own a Sefer Torah. And overnight, Dan called me and said, Rabbi Chaksher, we have been thinking about your synagogue all night. We cannot understand why you have to go from one shul to another shul to borrow the Sefer Torah. We would like to dedicate the Sefer Torah to your synagogue. Write that down. So I said, okay, you know, dedicating Sefer Torah is a great mitzvah. He wants to do it, she wants to do it. But then the whole details, the love, the compassion, the party that they made, they got all the friends on board to come and support. It was something unbelievable I haven't seen before. As Parham said, Dan is a very successful businessman. But I think, and I'm pretty sure, that the success and the bracha of Daneshrad's family is really because of Afsaneh. Because she's the one who brings the Yiddishkeit, the Judaism. She's somebody who wants her family to grow in the way of Hashem, supporting many Jewish causes, Torah causes, and they care for other people. They have a love and compassion for other people. Very selfless. As soon as I said to Dan and Afsaneh that, you're going to be our honorees, of course the first reaction is, no, we don't deserve it. The first 2 weeks I had to fight that you have to be honorees. And the next 6 weeks, Afsaneh and Dan have been texting me every day to make sure every friend and every family is on board. They'll come to Banquet, they're supporting. I can't go through the list. Hundreds of text messages came from Afsaneh to make sure every single friend, every single family. And to break the records, Baruch Hashem, they had more than 5, almost 6 table of friends coming to this banquet. We are very grateful. Thank you so much for being such a big part of KTC. We have been on the news because of Daneshrad lately for the past couple of months. And I want to thank them again and ask Dan and Afsaneh to come up to get the award. I also would like to ask Rabbi Shofet please to come up. And also our great chairman, Dr. Sadiq, that we owe him a lot of Hakarat Tov. We all have got here to come up and give the award. Tree of Life Award presented to Mr. and Mrs. Daneshrad in recognition of your extraordinary passion and dedication to preserving our heritage among youth. May you and your family enjoy much health, happiness, and success in all your endeavors. Called Torah Center, January 13, 2020, and the Birkat Habayit that your house should be full of bracha, yezer, hamakom, naveh mishkan leshalom, po yifkeshu nachad lesimcha, im bracha v'atzlacha. זאת הגורה יתרונן מול התורה בכל מקום, בכל פינה תהא שרויה השכינה. This plaque really deserves to be given to the Daneshrad family because Etz Chaim that Hashem says refers to the Torah, tree of life. They really resemble it. They gave the Torah, they support the Torah, and they are a true example of Torah. May the bracha of Torah be in your house all the time. Also, I would like to ask both brothers to also join us on the stage, please. Also, as a token of appreciation, we know our organization is all about tradition, passing down the tradition. And the most important holiday of Judaism is Passover. We pass down the tradition of Exodus, that we left Egypt. We Jews started from Egypt and went to Israel. All has to do with Exodus, with Pesach and Passover. We have a gift of a beautiful Seder plate for the Daneshrad family. and hopefully you enjoy it for many, many years together as a celebrity.
First of all, I would like to thank Hashem to give me opportunity to do this mitzvah for Rabbi Harkin. And second, what a crowd. I want you to clap a hand for yourself. Thank you for everybody attending to this. This is a great honor for me to be here and getting this from Rabbi Harkin. Thank you very much.
First, we would like to thank Hashem that having family, friends, and Rabbi Fakshur and the community that we can come and celebrate this kind of events. Dan and I we would like to thank each of you that you honor us with your attendance and being a part of this event, which is a big mitzvah to be a part of this organization and getting acquainted with Rabbi Fakshur. Dan and I, we are very humbled and very honored by Kol Torah Center, and we would like to thank Rabbi Fakshur that he considered us to be honorary. That, believe me, we didn't want it. For 1 year, we refused it. And he's persistent, we accepted it, and we are very honored and humbled by that.
Sorry.
So I would like to share with you that how we got acquainted with Rabbi Fakshur. In order to do that, I need to introduce you again, Yoshi, because you just met Yoshi. So Yoshi, my nephew, I would like you to stand up. I learned about Rabbi Fakshur from Puran Khanum, my sister-in-law, about Yoshi. When Yoshi was attending Pali High for 4 years, and I always talked to Puran Khanum about Yoshi, what does he do, what classes he takes, whatever. And Puran Khanum, during these 4 years, she told me many times, oh, Yoshi, Thursday night is going to Rabbi Fakshur event. Yoshi on Saturday night is going to Rabbi Fakshur event. And I keep hearing Rabbi Fakshur event, and I said, who is this Rabbi Fakshur? And Puran Khanum said he's a very young rabbi, very passionate rabbi, and Yoshi loves this rabbi. And she was telling me, like, we were inviting Yoshi for some events at our family, and Yoshi wasn't coming because he was going to Rabbi Fakshur event. And it was interesting that I heard, like, from many years ago, Rabbi Fakshur didn't have his shul, and he would take them to his house, his place, bringing food and talking to them about the Judaism, or taking them to a kosher pizza place, buying them food, not just Yoshi and other friends, to get involved. So then later, I learned that Rabbi Fakshur has a Jewish club at the Yoshi's high school, Pali High, and what he does, he goes with food, and all the Jewish friends and Yoshi's friends, they couldn't wait that Rabbi Fakshur to come over there to have the pizza, and the friends each other to put the tefillin on, to do a shema. And one time I was asking Yoshi, what is the special that Rabbi Fakshur that you go to his events or you participate at the activities? And he said, you know, Rabbi Fakshur is not like any other rabbi. He's our friend. We like to hang out with him. And we like to go to his place. He teaches us some things. We like to be with him. He's very passionate. And I said, does he force you guys to put tefillin on? He said, no, what are you talking about? He comes and he talks about the Judaism, And then we are with the kids, help each other to put the tefillin on, we put the prayers together. Rabbi Chashur doesn't force us because he's our friend. Why he should force us? And it was, for me, it was very interesting that a rabbi congregation are these kids, that he gets support of these kids by helping them. And as you see, the title of his slogans of his center is saving the next generation. And it's really true that Rabbi Chashur, by having the barbecue nights, by having Thursday night pizza nights, by having Hanukkah parties, by having Purim parties, he doesn't invite any of us. He invites these kids. So you see other congregations, other shuls, their members are the adults, the people that can support them. But Rabbi Chashur's support are these children. And these are the children that they go to public high school. And Rabbi Chashur has put his life, and his wife has dedicated their time to save the next generation by teaching them the Jewish faith and the cause and what's the reason they have to stick with the Judaism in order to survive in this kind of a culture, with the social media we have, with all the influences around us. He's saving these kids with minimal things that he's trying to do with the Jewish club, barbecue night, pizza night, Purim night, Hanukkah party, all this kind of stuff. As you said, when you go to Rabbi Chashur's shul, there is a TV. His home doesn't have a TV. He has a TV not because he watches the TV. He has the TV because kids come there to do the tefillin, to do a prayer. They watch TV. So he balances that. He connects these kids with their Judaism. And that's why Yoshi said, Rabbi Chashur is our friend. We love Rabbi Chashur. He's so passionate. So I think it was Hashem's work that it made us connected with Rabbi Chashur and his organization. So, and as you know that when Hashem wanted to give the Torah to the Bani Israel, he wanted the guarantor. And as you know, the guarantors, Hashem wanted the children. So Rabbi Chashur is the messenger that these children could be the guarantor of the Torah and our the Jewish tradition to be carried on. So the work and dedication of Rabbi Chashur with his cause to save the next generation is priceless. The children are the guarantor of our religion to be continued. Any support that for a rabbi support the call center receives will be a big mitzvah, and it will impact the future of this the generation. So Dan and I, we thank a lot Rabbi Chashur for honoring us this evening, but the truly honor goes to you, Rabbi Chashur. Honestly, the true honoree is Rabbi Chashur is saving a generation. We dedicated the Torah. It was a Torah. Hashem blessed us, we dedicate the Torah. You guys dedicate money, it's appreciated a lot. But he has dedicated his time, his life on these kids that not to be assimilated and to continue the faith and this religion. So really, if there is a banquet next year, it should be honoring Rabbi Chashur. I really